It's a beautiful morning. I think I'll go outside for a while and just smile. Just taking some clean, fresh air.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another Krebs COH replay cast. This time around, we do a 4v4 on the map Route N13. So, as you guys might have noticed lately on the channel, I've been telling you guys I've been looking for a 4v4 for so goddamn long. And at last, I'm going to be doing the first 4v4 in history on this channel for you guys. And it's going to be an All-Stars match. If you guys have not watched this replay already, I'm sure a lot of you already have. But if you have not, it's going to be an All-Stars match. By All-Stars, I mean pros. A lot of very familiar faces. I will introduce everyone just now. We're going to be taking a look at a totally vanilla matchup. So by vanilla, Wehrmacht versus Americans. No opposing fronts, no Brits, no PE. So on the Wehrmacht side, we have Insane Belmochta. Hope I'm saying that right. We've also got their teammate, Insane Zijokov. I know I'm totally saying that wrong. That's probably just one long word. Zijokov. Probably something like that. We're also taking a look at Seth as another Wehrmacht. And the last one is Insane Angela Merkel. So that means we have a lot of insane clan members in this game. This is obviously not going to be auto match. This is going to be predetermined beforehand in a basic match sort of style. It has VPs, however. We don't usually see that on team games that are 3v3 and 4v4. So we're on the American side. We're also going to be taking a look at Freedom, Insane Oasis. Also, where is the other player? Well, that's not Insane Oasis twice. Epsilon Contador, and the last one is Epsilon Seb. So the Epsilons, the Insanes, great stuff. I want to do this in a sort of very analytical sort of way, so that you guys can sort of see what's going on. So the first build from Seb is just going for a WSC, gonna keep on going. WSC, you've also got Barracks, another WSC, and another barracks. So 2 WSCs, 2 barracks. Good choice to be doing that. Obviously, you guys know that whenever you're playing a team game, usually it's a wise choice to be going for a mixture combination of one person goes barracks, one person goes WSC. So you get that mixture of not only just bars, riflemen on the field, so that you also get those snipers, those MGs, and stuff like that. Obviously, you got the Wehrmacht quarters from every single player here. Indeed, we've got motorbikes coming out. We've also got a few pioneers out on the field. Tons of motorbikes. Seth has already got, how many motorbikes? He's got 3 motorbikes. So Seth being the very unusual character, I think this is just a signature sort of Seth, just being unusual, trying some different stuff. Okay, so obviously, I gotta tell you guys, I don't have anyone else that is dual casting with me. I personally don't feel like I could do this justice alone. However, I'm going to try my absolute best to give this game as much justice as possible. Sniper going down. Unfortunately, there's quite a lack of commentators at the moment. I'm not exactly sure why. A lot of people aren't really into the commentating scene. I have a lot of trouble getting hold of Acoustic Ryan. I guess he's just doing his sort of own thing. And, you know, I'm going to let him come back in his own time. If he feels ready, he can approach me. Same with other casters on game replays. It seems like everyone's quite busy, so, you know, nobody's done this replay, and I really think somebody should. So here we go. I'm doing it for you guys. Very, very great. I'm sure you guys are big fans of 4v4. For the people that don't like really playing competitively, for the people that are just casual in this game, I'm sure you guys love playing 4v4. Personally, I'm a big fan of 4v4 myself. And so Route N13, you don't usually see that. And so it's great to be seeing an All-Stars match like this. I believe this is actually meant to be the 2000th cast on game replays. However, it was sort of undecisive. It doesn't seem like that's going to be happening. In fact, I believe the 2000th cast was something to do with tournament. So pretty cool that at least doing that, but this should get some sort of justification. So snipers running away, the Americans already retreating, the Wehrmacht already a great hold on the center and the south. However, the south is being capped away by the engineers, but looks like nothing else is down here. So most of the action is focusing on the center side, which is actually quite surprising. A lot of the action usually happens along the actual Route N13. For the people that don't know what Route N13 is, a long truck sort of road in France, so it is a bit historically accurate. However, I highly doubt that this map is based exactly on what that terrain looked like in real life. Sniper hiding away in the building, Epsilon Contador just being a bit safe there. But oh my god, I gotta get this sniper out of there. It doesn't look like a great situation to be surrounded like this. I don't even know what the heck he's doing. Maybe he's gonna be fighting till last, till he dies. He's just gonna be trying his absolute best. Oh, it looks like in fact he might be trying to run away here. And no, he is gonna be running around the building. Smart maneuver, but still he is being surrounded. Obviously, Insane Angela Mercurl can obviously recognize that, but the sniper is retreating. Can he get away? I don't actually believe so, but there we go. Yes, that sniper is going down. The second one is retreating, and the third one, oh my god, how many snipers on the field? So really just going right on into their roles of WSC and barracks. See what's happening on the center. Seth with 4 motorbikes, obviously being a very strange character. The north side is quite uncaptured at the moment. The Pioneers, the Volksgrenadiers are capturing away, and the Wehrmacht have more majority control. However, the Americans have not managed to capture everything up here so far. Motorbike just retreating. The riflemen are moving in. So it seems like the quite an awkward place. Quite an awkward place indeed. Just switching tides, hands constantly. It seems like. It seems like the bottom side is in the hands of the Americans now, but it looks like the Wehrmacht are way to capture it again, and the middle is just an absolute mess. There's nothing much to say about it. This the forward HQ in the church is being captured, and so let's talk about Route N13 for a slight second. I'm going to pause it just for a second. As we can see, loads of buildings in the center side. The church is usually a hot topic to be captured and put a forward HQ in there. Even if you don't put a forward HQ, that is usually a hot spot. A lot of people like to have the control of that church because, as you guys can see, obviously very tactically viable. Has very great windows facing in pretty much every direction, so you could face out of any direction, and so you get a very good view of what is actually going on the field. So that is very important. At least that is decapped. The sniper actually managed to decap that forward HQ there, so that is in the hands of the Americans for the time being. Now I'm gonna say a slight sort of a piece of exciting news whilst the action is still going on. You guys can continue on looking at this. Now you guys know obviously that I've been talking about this sort of tournament that I was planning on doing. Just been talking about it for actually quite a long time now, for a few months, and I said it will happen in August, and well, it is August right now. I'm also going to be reaching the 1,000 subscriber goal mark, stone, whatever you want to call it, very, very shortly. So I think that would be a perfect time for you guys to just bring out a competition and get some stuff going on with you guys, the community, and win some big money. The last time I done a replay competition, or competition indeed, was just a few months ago, and it was a replay competition. And surprisingly, we got a lot of replays. We got a good response from it. Prizes were very small and meager. However, it did bring a lot of excitement. I do believe that the first place replay is the most watched on my channel. So pretty cool that it's actually like that. Now, there's obviously different questions that can go about in your head. So what kind of competition am I thinking about? Well, to be honest, I was actually thinking about a sort of ladder system and, you know, the normal tournament style, people versing each other and stuff like that. But to be honest, I was not expecting there to be so many tournaments this summer. In fact, I was only expecting there to be one. There's actually been 3 in total. So I think it's going to be too repetitive just to be going for another sort of tournament. So for that fact alone, I'm going to be doing something totally, well, not totally different, but different from just the normal tournaments. I'm going to be doing another replay competition. However, I'm going to be doing changing it up a slight bit, doing some twists on it, just because obviously to make it a bit different, not exactly like how it was in that first time around. Now this replay competition is going to be slightly different, as I said, and it's going to be focusing on what you guys vote for. Everybody can submit their replays. However, what I'm looking for is some new sort of replays, and also you guys will be voting my top picks and who will win that matchup, and so that person will get the prize. So there's going to be obviously 3rd place, 2nd place, and 1st place prizes. But obviously I'll be talking about that a little bit more. Don't start sending me the replays in right now. The tournament has not actually started yet. So until then, I will officially announce it, but it will be sometime soon. I believe the prizes are getting up there. They are over about 180 pounds right now, just that I've gotten saved up so far. And I'm also going to be opening up donations. If you guys want to donate right now, to make that prize pot bigger, make it more competitive and stuff like that, then on you go. I'm going to be linking you guys the donation link in the box below, and so just check it out. Even if it's just £1 or something, that whatever you guys want to donate, even if you don't want to donate at all, I don't really mind. But however, these prizes will make it more interesting. There will be more people that will be entering, and so obviously if there's more money, there's obviously going to be more reasons for people to enter, and so there's going to be more people entering and better replays, and it's just the quality goes up. So I'll be linking you guys, and so yeah, a lot to look forward to there. So the replay so far has been quite exciting. Pausing it, it's only 10 minutes into it so far. Let's take a look at what's going on. We've got a motor pool that is built by Epsilon Seb, so he skipped from WSC to motor pool. Very good choice, that is highly recommended. However, Insane Oasis is stopped over here at the barracks, and he's got that triage center. I'm going to continue actually. And also this WSC over here, nothing more from Contador, and just the same with Freedom, the barracks, and the triage center. Gonna be healing up your guys, good. And likewise for the Wehrmacht, we've got the Panzer Command coming down from Mochta. So it doesn't really look like Mochta, if we switch on over to him, has a lot of units on the field at the moment. He has quite a bit, I suppose, with MGs and stuff like that, but not really strong base. So maybe that's the reason why he's actually skipped right on up to the Panzer Command. Surprisingly, he's actually floating a little bit of manpower, about 800 or so. Not exactly sure what's going on there. Maybe he's trying to save up for some tanks, but still, he doesn't even have the fuel. I don't know what's going on there. He should really build some more units out of that. Maybe he's going to save up for Blitzkrieg and go for a stew or some stormtroopers. Oh, God knows, there's so much open to interpretation at the moment. Bunch of action here. Also, we've got the Krieg barracks down from Insane Zhukov. Oh God, what a hard name to say. Call him Joe, why not? Seth has a Krieg barracks down, and we've got a Sturm Armory from Insane Angela. So pretty much mixing it up all with all the players. So every player is going for a different tier. We've got T2, we've got T3, we've also got T4. Pretty surprising, and we got to see what comes out of that. But very, very cool to be seeing a huge mixture of units out, ready to be built on the field. Forward HQ by Insane Oasis here. What a risky sort of guy. Very interesting to be putting it right here, but it's obviously receiving a whole bunch of flack from the Nebelwerfer at the moment. And this entire place is being bombarded. Loads and loads of massacres and killing going on here, but that forward HQ is going to be brilliant for reinforcing these riflemen nearby. Also, anyone else that is nearby, reinforced right there on the field rather than retreating. They need that ground, don't they? In fact, the Wehrmacht seem to be actually quite pushed down on the center and the bottom of the map. The Wehrmacht are pushing in towards this forward HQ, trying to capture it. One more rocket could potentially take down this forward HQ if it's going to miss. Oh no, it's not actually taking it down. Come on, one more rocket takes it down, and then they cannot reinforce any longer. The riflemen are quite desperate, so much in fact that they're actually going to be dropping grenades on top of those grenadiers right there. They also got Seth also has a half track right there. Reinforce. So much going on in the field. So much in fact, quickly pausing it, seeing what's going on over here. Just a bit of pushing and keeping the points over here. Really not much to say about that. But it seems quite odd. Have they actually penetrated the bushes? In fact, yes, they have penetrated the bushes. That's the way to say, how's an American guy over there? How's an engineer over there when this place has been pushed on? Well, what they have done is actually get an anti-tank gun and attack the ground over here and just chop down those hedges. So obviously you guys know about Route N13, and there's lots of hedges. In fact, you can blow this part. Oh wow, they've already done it in fact. And so push on over here. So much so that they've already got greyhounds over here. So Seb, being a sneaky little bugger. The Wehrmacht are trying to capture away at the center. Again, the snipers are just such a big hassle, taking out those grenadiers like no problem whatsoever, and so those grenadiers really cannot stand a chance. So much going on in the field. How the heck am I supposed to cover this all? And this is what I mean. I can't really do this replay credit by myself. I really wish I had some sort of double commentary or triple commentary going on, but it's really, really unfortunate. As I said, guys, it's just some people, a lot of people aren't available, and so I guess I have to do this by myself. Fair enough. So Americans pushing on right into Steph's base. God, that's not looking. No, not in Steph's base. It's insane. Angela Merkel. I keep on selecting somebody else, it appears, but fair enough. And so pushing right on in on this side. This is what I absolutely hate about this map. Being put into either this spot over here, the most southern point, or this spot over here. Because one, you have to fight on the southern side. Everyone expects you to fight on that southern VP and the southern points pretty much by yourself. You pretty much almost get no support whatsoever. And also, you're most prone to being attacked. Whilst the northern and the center sides are far away and they have hedges protecting, you're right in the goddamn open. And so these snipers, 4 of them in fact, are just going to be harassing Merkel. Merkel is getting his base destroyed. It looks like if Wehrmacht quarters went down, and that Sturm armory as well. His buildings are being destroyed. Merkel is just doing some drive-bys with his stew. But oh man, this is really not looking good for stew. The sticky is coming down right on top, and the Americans are right on in the base. Where is the support? Where are you guys, Seth? And everyone else from the Insane Clan, why are you not helping your teammate? He's absolutely getting murdered, and what you can expect after your teammate is murdered here, they'll continue to keep on moving on up here. So here we have quite a big response from Joe, who's going to be moving on down. Also, Seth is providing some support with Grenadiers, triple veterancy, and also some motorbikes. Motorbikes against Rangers, okay, fair enough. See how that goes. Obviously, a bazooka to a motorbike won't be too friendly, as you guys can see, taking it from full health to pretty much a third left, I would say. Ostwind providing some support, and this is what we need, some teammates working together. But it looks like the Americans have this opportunity in their hand, and they're thinking, okay, we have access to this base, we're going to start combining forces and taking it on. So you can see multiple different colors. You've got orange, you've got brown, you've got yellow, and they're all moving in, trying to take out the base. They're so close of actually doing that, but look, mass amount of guys. Surprisingly, the strafing run didn't kill as much as I was expecting. I was expecting the strafing run to kill a lot more than that, but it looked like only 5 or 6 Grenadiers only died. That looked like propaganda war, probably from Terror Doctrine coming down. Just chasing away that mass amount of Americans. Very good to be seeing that. Obviously, any other squads by themselves are not going to stand any chance. Another Stu out on the field protecting their home. So the top side is seeing quite a bit of action. However, mines going off, taking out double mines actually, taking out that entire engineer squad. The Pioneers pretty much leveled the playing field. They have actually eliminated half of their opponent force. And the center is being, well, pretty much bunkerized by Seth. Just bunkers in every single direction. In fact, bunkers here, bunkers there, bunkers everywhere. And so what the Americans are going to do is probably throw down a bit of smoke. I'm guessing from a mortar. Yep, that's a mortar right there. And also there's a mortar by Seth, and so 2 mortars against each other. In fact, the American mortar lost that little matchup there. So, lots of bunkers here. Seth is just such an unusual character, and this is what I mean. Just bunkers everywhere, just protecting that center point. Not only protecting the VP, but just preventing the enemies from even accessing that area. Loads of Ostwinds by Mochta. That is Mochta with his Panzer Command. So he was the guy that was the odd one out and went for the Panzer Command straight away. And so he has got all these Ostwinds out. That's absolutely insane. Mochta, however, still has 1,300 manpower saved up. I really have no clue why. Why doesn't he build more units? I mean, King Tiger is only, what, 500 manpower? And I really don't know why, guys. I don't know why. I guess maybe he's just not paying attention to his manpower. But personally, what I would do is probably build more units. You know, Volks Grenadiers, you've also got lots of manpower, so get a few, or munitions, so get a few MP40s on there, and yeah, you'll be able to combat those riflemen no problem. So, big counter. Big counter. So these guys, these Rangers and the Riflemen are going to have such a hard time. 3 Ostwinds. 1 is a problem, 2 is company, and 3 is just, too much to deal with. Nebelwerfer is saving these Ostwinds. Oh my god, that was a very well placed shot. I believe that was a Nebelwerfer. And very, very lucky indeed. These Ostvins could easily have been overrun there and stickied like mad. Instead, that Nebelwerfer saved the day. This Ranger squad just managing to get away from there. The Ostvins very badly damaged. These Ostvins, what they really need is probably some sort of veterancy. That would definitely help a lot in keeping them alive. But, you know, they've only got 23 fuel at the moment. I'm not sure if he's just spending all of his fuel on just tanks alone or something like that. But, you know, if you got 3 Ostvins out in the field already, just go for some veterancy. It's going to keep them alive a lot longer, and it's a long-term investment, right? So it appears that Oasis has gone for his airborne doctrine. In fact, let's take a look at everybody. So Epsilon Seb, Mr. American, has gone for the armor doctrine. We've also got Insane Oasis, another American who's gone for the airborne. Contador, infantry. Freedom, infantry. Insane, he's gone for terror. And Joe has gone for terror as well, so double terror already. And what the hell, Steph has gone for terror as well. Is everybody going for terror? No, it seems like Merkel is going to be the weird one, of course, and be the Blitzkrieg. So 3 terror and a Blitzkrieg. Very unusual. Perhaps they're going for that huge amount of King Tigers. 3 King Tigers out. Could you imagine that? That would just be impossible to deal with. Very, very hard to take on. Even if you've got like a whole bunch of Ranger squads and that, 3 King Tigers is going to be absolutely insane to take on. So it appears Merkel has actually recovered at least. His base is repaired. However, he doesn't have any sort of new buildings. I'm guessing he's relying on his doctrine abilities alone. Appears just he's getting the stormtroopers and the stews, and that's enough. That's going to do him fine, right? This squad just managing to get the heck on out of there. But loads and loads of explosions. Just taking a panoramic view, you guys can see what's happening across the field. Man, this is really taking a toll on my frames, I believe, just because of all these guys running about and just everything on in the distance. So there we go, the frames are all better now. Massive amount of movement of guys moving in towards the Merkel's base again. Come on, Merkel really does not want to deal with this again. Getting his base attacked and destroyed. The Americans are on his doorstep already, yet again. What a hassle indeed. I personally think, don't you guys, is this making, is this guy made, there we go, that was what I was trying to say, a Goliath. I was going to say, are you guys thinking what I'm thinking? A Goliath would be perfect as a sort of defense against all these riflemen. Firestorm coming down, I mean, Firestorm would be brilliant as well, but a Goliath would be just absolutely perfect. Not using it like that and charging it towards guys. I know a lot of people get sort of right on their tippy toes as soon as they see a great opportunity, a great window. They just charge their Goliath in there, and then it gets destroyed without actually taking out anyone. And so what would be a really good idea is to have a Goliath, keep it in like behind the bushes here. For example, when all these Rangers come running in through that choke point between the fences, boom, explosion, and just take out like half of them. That would be absolutely perfect. I wish they would really do that. It seems like the Wehrmacht are so desperate to get rid of those guys, they in fact dropped a firestorm on Merkel's base. So Merkel is really taking the bullet from not only the Americans, but their own allies as well, really. Nebelwerfer just killing loads of guys. The anti-tank guns are just trying to dodge it. They're dancing around the flames. 5 anti-tank guns in total. One already gone down, another one already gone down, so a second one possibly, no, that one looks like it's going to be escaping the fire. So 2 in total going down. So loads of Nebelwerfers, oh my god, so much. In fact, there's 4 on the field, so it appears like Merkel has actually got, no, he can't have another Sturm Armory. It looks like Merkel has actually gotten those Nebelwerfers from the Sturm Armory before it was destroyed. And what we saw just down there was a KT, a King Tiger from Seth, out on the field. The great thing, 23 minutes into this game, great thing about this between on 4 vs 4 is that you'll be killing and doing so much stuff consistently all the time that getting CP, all the command points necessary to get a King Tiger, will really not be a problem. It's going to be raising up so fast that you can get a quick King Tiger relatively fast. And so this Stu looks like it's going to have a bit of trouble. Where is the King Tiger going to go? It looks like the King Tiger is going to focus its efforts on in the center. Come on, move up, Seth! Take out this M10! You could easily have done that. Don't know why he didn't try and do that. Maybe he just wasn't paying attention, but fair enough. By the way, the commentary between these players is actually quite funny. If you guys would actually watch it, maybe not on this replay, but in perhaps if you guys watch the replay on your own time, it's actually pretty damn funny just how competitive these guys get and how much they doubt each other and stuff like that. It's just pretty funny how competitive they are, obviously. I mean, they are competitive, good players, right? The top side is just being captured away, so the Wehrmacht have that. But the struggle is consistently all the time in the center. This church is demolished pretty much, and wrecks out everywhere on the field. Anti-tank guns just dropped. And all this action just focused on the center. How hard it is, indeed. Surprisingly, though, it seems like these players actually are quite knowledgeable and quite skilled on Route N13. They seem to know what they're doing. I mean, we had those players that ran right before the church in the beginning. So they obviously played on it before, and it's pretty funny that they actually do that, because a lot of pros, they just exclusively play 1v1 or 2v2, for example. So I actually wonder, do you think these great players, Seth and all that, do you think they actually play 4v4? Maybe just on like a casual free time if they want an easy match or something fun. No idea. It'd be interesting to know. King Tiger, come on, get on up in there, do some damage. What they could really use is that King Tiger just make his presence known on the field. God damn it! Just kill as much guys as possible. Get some pioneers, put down a few repair bunkers, and do some damage. The M10 is actually surprisingly taking quite a big chunk. But obviously you're going to take quite a bit more chunks of damage to actually take down that King Tiger, right? So mass amount of guys. Mochta has a bunch of armor. He has Panzer IV. He's also got that Panther out. The M10 going down, and it's going to be way too difficult to take on. I don't even know what they're trying to do. Rushing in all their guys. It's just going to be way too hard to take on all these tanks. Panzer IV, Panther, a King Tiger. No, too hard. I think it's just going to be sort of a suicide mission. They need to soften it up somehow. They need to get some artillery going, damage them a bit, get some stickies going, sticky them, and then try and take them out like that. There we go. First sticky coming down on top of that, a Panzer IV, but the Panzer IV is backing out of there very luckily. Good. Damaged engine, however, is quite far back, so it should be okay if it keeps on reversing, get that repaired up. Merkel is pretty much doing alright. He's the Americans aren't so close to his doorstep now, however they are pushing a little bit. And that Tiger is right here on the field. So Merkel, obviously with that Blitzkrieg doctrine, bringing out the Tiger. Way, very good. And so the King Tigers, the Tiger. So all in all, you could imagine 3 King Tigers and a Tiger out on the field. Oh, jeez. Brings shivers up my spine if I just even think about it. Just all that insane amount of power that you could have. So much going on. Propaganda war coming down. We've got retreating guys. We've got bodies strewed everywhere on the map. Where are the medics? Where are the freaking medics? We've also got a Goliath. 2 Goliaths, in fact. One taking out the anti-tank gun. The other is going to be going around somewhere, perhaps getting some sort of cover. No, it's going to be rushing on in here. Where's the retreating? Retreat! Oh, take out a bunch of engineers and a mortar. Very good job for that Goliath. However, I still think in such a big game like this, a Goliath could do a lot more damage. For example, if you hit it behind the hedges or in one of these craters where the cover is, and just camouflaged it, wait for somebody to come on top. I mean, say in one of these craters right in the middle of the road where everyone's going to be traveling, that would be so perfect. Say like over here, for example, right in here, everybody would be pretty much forced to go in that direction, or, you know, across the bushes, whatever. But normally they would have to go through there, and that would be absolutely excellent to see a Goliath take out a big chunk of men like that. So it seems like the Wehrmacht are pushing back in on the center. They have control. They have managed to take out a whole bunch of guys. They're doing a great job of taking out the anti-tank guns just so they can't be recaptured. So very good to be seeing that. It's unfortunate at least one of these players couldn't be a PE and get a Bergetiger, so that they could at least get back the Ostvins, all these wrecks and stuff, and Also, say for example, if one of the King Tigers or something was destroyed, they could easily just get it back up. Ooh, big losses on the Volksgrenadier squad. Luckily, a Panther just stopping them from being killed, and no, in fact, they were shot down as they were just about to be out of range. Okay, fair enough. But the Americans moving back in on the center. Freedom is really satisfied with just being quite heavily oriented on his infantry. I don't really know what's going on here. Check Freedom's base quickly. He's just got infantry. He's only got barracks and also the infantry doctrine. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. Why doesn't he go for some heavier tanks? I have no clue. But he's got 6 rifleman squads. Goliath taking out a huge mass of men yet again, and he is just having forced to retreat. So personally, I have no idea why Freedom is so heavily intent on riflemen. You know, fair enough, it's a valid strategy. However, I think if he's going to be going for that, he should at least get down like a medic station, medic tent, just to get, you know, some of these riflemen back. In fact, I probably put down like 2 medic tents just so you can get even more guys back, and so bring out more of these zombie squads. I'd really love to see that. Nope, the Ostwind is up here. And the Panzer IV is up here, so solid control pretty much of the northern sector. And the Pershing is out on the field by Epsilon Seb. Very big damage. Obviously the Pershing will not be able to take on that King Tiger. He'll do a decent amount of damage, take out quite a bit of health, but the King Tiger overall would probably win that matchup. Loads and loads of stuff. We have a howitzer chute coming down, destroying the bunkers. The King Tiger is heavily damaged from Seth. Really needs to be repaired. Seth, or Mochita in fact, is actually getting down a repair bunker, or what appears to be maybe another one as well. So very good to be seeing that, getting that King Tiger repaired. Obviously it saves you a lot of manpower than having to actually get pioneers out on the field and having those pioneers killed, for example. It'd be such a hassle. But massive amounts of tanks here. I'm not exactly sure what Joe is trying to do. There's just way too much to take on. Way too much. In fact, the Panther was just obliterated in seconds there. Recoilless rifles, Pershing, no chance whatsoever. Panzer IV, gotta start being careful. We've also got another smoke barrage coming down from what I believe is a mortar, American mortar probably. I don't see why Axis mortar would put it down there. That's just going to be stopping the bunker, obviously, so that the paratroopers can get on in there and try and take out this Panzer IV. But more and more shells coming down from where? I have no clue. Where are these mortars? There we go. That's one mortar. Just provide some smoke. So we don't usually see mortar smoke shells down anywhere in any games. This King Tiger's so close. Never mind. Just being taken out. 54 XP to whoever managed to kill that. I'm not exactly sure who managed to actually take it out there, but it did explode from something. No idea what the heck that was. But yeah, we don't usually see mortars in any of these casts using their smoke ability, and you know, it's such an underrated ability considering it's free and so helpful, stops from being suppressed and stuff. People should really use it a lot more often. I think it's just one of the sort of abilities that people overlook. They sort of, it's not like one of those mainstream default abilities, so they sort of overlook it. Something happened down here with Merkel. In fact, the Americans have actually gotten in his base, so much so that his base has been destroyed. The HQ is gone. Not looking good for him. It appears the Americans are going to be doing another push. If they can't push on the center, it looks like some of them are going to divert their attention on actually taking out Merkel. So not a bad choice either, because once you take out their forward HQ, they cannot use any of their doctrinal abilities. So that effectively sort of makes Merkel non-existent in this game, basically a 4 versus 3. So the Wehrmacht really need to start considering, hey, maybe we should help Merkel out down here, because we really needed support here. The HQ is actually luckily back on up, and also bunker coming down over here, probably going to be an MG bunker. Surprisingly, 57 points left for the Americans, 56 and counting, 403 for the Wehrmacht. So Americans, you really got to be careful. This is why we've got attention going on in the center, very hard struggles, because the Americans are so desperate. They have the bottom VP, but what they really need is the or the center VP. It looks like they have quite a bit of trouble of actually capturing the top side. However, they could actually do it right now if they had a lone engineer squad. But it looks like they really want the center VP, because if they can control it, they can also sort of effectively control the top VP as well. So that's the nice thing, the benefit of controlling the center of this map, that you have this long road that extends right on up to the northern side. Obviously you have the hedges near the bases over here that can lead on up to it, but this is the main road. If you can control the center, then you have a good chance of controlling the top as well. So Americans, every single direction, sticky bombs coming down from every single direction, and that Panzer IV is going down. And where is the reinforcements? We need reinforcements. The Americans are overrunning the Wehrmacht. Geez, Shermans, Greyhounds, Pershings. Everything is just all this attention here. It seems like the Wehrmacht were diverting some of their attention to help Merkel out, but since they've done that, the Americans had such a great opportunity to push in on the Wehrmacht, and so the Wehrmacht are really losing everything. It looks like the Americans have actually managed to temporarily at least control the center. They've taken out another Panzer IV. The half track is going to be going down. We've also got repair bunkers that are going to be howitzer barraged. Also, these guys are just really in a choke point right now. Not looking good. Howitzer shoot, taking out a bunch of guys. So the center is pretty much gone. The Wehrmacht have lost control of the center. We had a mass amount of guys through persistence and constant fighting. We had a mass amount of guys heading through the center. Then we had diverting, flanking tanks and squads coming in from the side, from behind, in fact, even. And then it was just too much for the Wehrmacht to deal. Their positions were overrun and they were destroyed. And so the Wehrmacht are trying to form some sort of counterattack by bringing in their heavy armor, the Tiger, the Panther. However, this is not looking good. All three repair bunkers are down. That means that there's going to be quite a difficult time for the Panthers to actually get repaired. We've also got a Greyhound just putting down a mine right there, straight in the middle before it was destroyed. A last-ditch attempt to be doing something at least. So good that he's at least doing that. This M10 is most likely going to be going down. Is he going to finish it off? Oh no! Yes! Yes, in fact, he is going to finish it off. Just managed to. So 35 points left for the Americans, 340. We also got Americans making a slight movement up top. The airborne have captured the top VP. So it looks like since the Americans, the Wehrmacht, sorry, had to focus their attention on saving Merkel, they actually lost their stance on the center, and this is such a bad position to be in. The Wehrmacht are really funneling in their guys now, because at least the center is sort of open. But here, they're fighting in a sort of choke pointish, funneling sort of area now. By having all their guys funneled here, that just leaves them right on up, open to the howitzer shoots and the strafing runs, the bombing runs, and all this artillery. So not looking good. Holy Jesus, that was a gigantic V1, taking out a whole bunch of guys there. That might have been the push that the Wehrmacht needed. That might have been excellent for them. I have no idea why that Pershing did not take any damage whatsoever. I noticed that there's field repairs on. I don't believe it was a bug. That can't not be a bug, but to be honest, have no clue why that Pershing didn't take any damage or was destroyed in that. That looked really close to the V1, so surprisingly enough, no idea what was going on there. But imagine if that Pershing was destroyed as well. That would have effectively ended the control that the Americans had in the center. So the Americans have... it looks like they're going to be losing the control of the center now, because all they have left is this MG emplacement and that Pershing. They really need some sort of defense, because the Wehrmacht are pushing in. Loads of guys down here trying to keep control of the southern VP away from the Wehrmacht. Good that they're doing that, but we've got firestorms coming down from every direction, taking out a bunch of riflemen, taking out a AT gun, and well, possibly looks like an MG. Maybe that was before though. Fair enough. That's probably going to be captured by the Americans again, that VP. And it looks like we had another V1 go off somewhere. I just heard a big explosion, but I have no idea where that was. In fact, everyone is saying that was the worst V1 ever. So probably not probably not really missing much, to be honest. But it looks like maybe it might have been here. I believe actually the V1 might have been here, because look at the craters. This looks like something familiar to a V1 explosion. So that might have been the worst V1 ever, because everyone was pretty much out of that area already. So I could actually understand that and think, yeah, that's probably the worst V1 ever. Not killing anyone. Americans on Merkel's doorstep again. Merkel is putting down some barbed wire to at least stop the Rangers and infantry, but I mean, come on, the inmates are just going to run over it. They need to put down some tank traps in front of the barbed wire, at least. However, man, Merkel is just taking so much abuse in this game. This isn't even fun for him, I bet. I mean, he's just constantly getting his base destroyed and just struggling to even stay alive. So yeah, very awkward for him. 35 for the Americans. 225 for the Wehrmacht. So the Wehrmacht are slowly being worn away in terms of their VPs. Be careful, Wehrmacht. You really need to control at least 2 points. If I was the Wehrmacht, I would try and get a hold of the bottom and the center. However, I have really no clue, to be honest. I mean, it's just going to be so hard at this point to actually even control everything. Maybe the center and the top would be the best. Maybe the top and the bottom would be best to go for. I really have no clue at this point. The Americans have pretty solid control of the top side. They've got Shermans. They've got guys here. They got paratroopers. The Americans have a slight hold, a temporary hold, it feels like, of the center. The King Tiger, at least, is over here, and also just nothing really much down here. Okay, so fair enough. But so far, I believe we've only seen 2 King Tigers out on the field. One was already destroyed. So let's see what else. Maybe that is that's Mochta's King Tiger out. Switching on over to Joe, he can still get the King Tiger, so that's good. So we could still see another King Tiger. However, the only thing stopping him, he has the manpower. The only thing stopping him is that he has not enough population. I have no idea what this King Tiger is doing. Really should move it back. Oh god. Oh no. I guess he just wasn't even paying attention. That's the one King Tiger gone. And an instant triple veterancy on that AT gun that took it out. Instant triple vet. That was from vet 0 to vet 3. I believe because that was 54 XP. That is absolutely insane. Right from 0 to 3. So that's going to be super duper extra penetrative anti-tank gun. Watch out for that bad boy. The Wehrmacht trying to take back control of the northern side, but man, it seems like the Wehrmacht are just losing too much at this point. Those 2 King Tigers, for example, you won't get them back. And this is the unfortunate thing, why you can't at least have a PE player and have the Bergetiger and get the stuff back. I believe they must have actually done it on purpose, though. They purposely wanted an All-Stars matchup, just vanilla factions only, so no PE, no Brits. I think they probably done it on purpose, though. So that's how it is. So the bottom is in the control, bottom, top, and center VPs in control of the Americans again. So 149 for the Wehrmacht, 35 for the Americans still. It is really not moving at all. So god, man, the Wehrmacht really need to get back in the fight. But as I said, if they're going to be losing so many guys, they really are not going to be doing much about it. So I'm wondering, where could this V1 be coming? Where could it be going? I really want to hear that. I really want to see where it could have been. I'm sorry for pausing it, guys, but I really want to see. I can't see the explosion anywhere. Not exactly sure where it could have been, to be honest. Maybe, no idea. These V1s are really difficult to see sometimes. It's unfortunate, at least you can't see it on the replays. But it was somewhere, obviously, right? So, gotta see what else is going to be happening. At least we got to catch one V1 earlier in this. That was definitely a crazy V1 indeed. So, Merkel losing a bit of guys. And the Wehrmacht look like they are really on the back foot. I don't know how the Wehrmacht are going to be able to respond to this in time. With only 101 points left in this game, it's really not looking too bright for them. The Americans are pushing on from every direction. We've got all these wrecks all this destruction, and so I have no clue what's gonna happen, to be honest. We've got grenadiers here, only one of a Panzerschreck, but it seems like all in all the Wehrmacht are quite low on resources entirely. If they can't actually be doing anything, probably maybe not so much resources, more so just their population. For example, Joe is maxed out, 58 for 58. If we switch on over to one of the Americans, they have 89 available. They have a maximum of 89. So that's very, very good. For some reason that we've got something happening here. In fact, we've got Seth bringing in his own motorcycle. Very brave motorcycle indeed. And also Merkel is saying get the VPs, they desperately need to. But how are they going to do that? It just doesn't seem likely at this point. 53 points left. It's probably going to be some sort of last ditch attempt. Just sacrifice your guys to try and even capture the VPs. There you go, howitzer shoot protecting it. Just not really sure what's going to happen. This VP is at least neutral right now, but the Americans are closing in. This VP has pretty much no chance of being captured. Way too many AT guns, way too many guys. In fact, the paratroopers are going to be rushing on in, probably to do something. Not really sure. For some reason, this motorbike is behind here. Seth alone on his motorbike is trying to defend, destroy the Americans. Maybe Seth alone with his motorbike can win this match. Oh, God, so unlikely. But it looks like propaganda war, probably chasing those guys away, I believe. And so, really, there's no chance whatsoever. 31 points left for the Wehrmacht. They're at least capturing the VPs. The center is in the hands of the Wehrmacht. This one is neutral, so the points have at least stopped for the time being. But it's going to be really hard. Just too many heavy tanks. Stu's not really going to do that much. I believe there's Stu's. Yeah, there's Stu's. They're not going to do anything against Shermans, for example. They'll be okay against M10. Maybe do a little bit of damage. In fact, it looks like no damage whatsoever. Surprisingly, I thought M10s could actually take damage from Stu's, but it appears not. And so it's just not even looking good whatsoever. This VP is being harassed by the Calliopes. This one is neutral. We've got a half-track to replenish guys down here. Also got a King Tiger out by Joe. And so this point is definitely going to be tried to be held in the hands of the Wehrmacht. We've also got a sniper here who's just going to harass the guys. And so the only point that really needs captured is the center now. And so we've got Knights Crossholders going in that are going to try to harass the Greyhound. Obviously the Greyhound is a bit busy capturing it at the moment, so the Knights Cross can't actually capture it right now. 26 points for the Wehrmacht, 32 for the Americans. It's really a tight, tough match. Come on, this is down to the wire. Now, as soon as that Greyhound is done, now they're taking turns. Knight Crossholders are trying to get in there. But what is the Greyhound doing? The Greyhound is being a stubborn, greedy bastard, and he is actually using his vehicle maneuverability to actually prevent the point from being captured. Same with the M10. Oh God, what a frustrating position to be in, because they know the Knights Crossholders alone could be actually able to capture this point. However, with all these tanks here, just maneuvering themselves around the guys and forcing them back, no chance. The only way that the Wehrmacht are going to be able to capture this is actually destroying the tanks. So, well, good luck, pretty much. That's all you can really say. This point is probably going to go back in the hands of the Americans. The Wehrmacht are way being overrun now. 12 points left for the Wehrmacht. Just ticking away. 11 points left. Also, this is being captured by the Wehrmacht. The center is back in the hands. And there we go. The point has stopped ticking yet again. But this point is just about to be captured. And so... Whoa! We just had a big V1 there. A big V1. Oh, very unfortunate that we couldn't see it just happen exactly when it did, but that V1 landing right on in the center. We took out that M10 there, took out a bunch of guys, and just a whole bunch of action right now. Hold, bitches! All the artillery is being focused in on the center. The Tiger is taking some damage on this Pershing. We've also got a whole bunch of guys still going down here. And all this destruction, the last ditch efforts, the howitzer shoots. In fact, the Grenadiers are so desperate, they're trying to capture the point before it is actually... the Grenadiers are just trying to capture it even under fire of artillery. Oh my God. Half-track full of guys was blowing up and all of them coming spewing out and dying. No, that point is going down. 1 point left. 1 point. And the VPs have stopped temporarily until something is captured. Until something is captured. Oh no, 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 no. As soon as this Greyhound captures it, or this Rifleman captures it. There we go. Just about to be captured. And that is probably the end of the game. Yeah, it's the end of the game. There we go. So, very exciting match, especially pretty much throughout, actually. Very last ditch attempt efforts at the end there, sacrificing Grenadiers, even though they know they were gonna die under artillery fire. Man, oh man! I think the only reason the Wehrmacht lost that was because, well, they took a bit of losses, but I think most importantly, they lost the center. All of a sudden they got pushed back. Also, Merkel was taking a lot of damage here. I think what Merkel should really have done is built a line of tank traps, possibly double layers of tank traps, followed with barbed wire, at least to delay anyone from even coming into his base. I mean, he was getting harassed all the freaking time. So I think you guys understand maybe why I can't do this replay justice just by myself. It's just way too much to take in just by myself. All these V1s going down everywhere. It's so hard to keep a track of. So hopefully it has been okay, but I hope you guys enjoyed this match. Along with my announcement a little bit earlier, I will be doing that tournament, that competition, and there's going to be a lot of big prizes. Perhaps the biggest ones to date amongst all tournaments for CO so far. So I'm going to be putting that donation link. If you guys would like to donate any amount, I really would appreciate it. It all goes to the prize fund. But until next time, guys, I hope you enjoy this 4v4, and I really hope to be doing more of them, hopefully with other casters as well, so dual commentaries. But until then, guys, have a very nice day.